Hello bag maker, welcome back to my channel. My name is Estilupa. So thank you for subscribing and thank you for coming to my channel. The long awaited tutorial is here. If you're ready, let's get right into it. Now for this next segment, you have to be attentive. If not, it can actually mess with you a whole lot. Now remember that the length of our frame is 3 inches. So from the top of your body panel, come down by 3 inches. And remember that our the height of our body panel now has reduced to 12 inches instead of the initial 12.5 inches we cut out. Can you see now? So marking 3 inches, if you want to get the panel, the side panel, you just have to minus this 3 inches from the 12 inches. So 12 inches minus 3 inches will give you 9 inches. So that is what the side panel is going to be, and the base, like you know, has now shifted from 2.5 to 3 inches. So now we have the new height of the side of the bag of the side panel, which is going to be 9 inches, and the base is 3 inches. So now let me go over it again. 12 inches the length of the panel minus 3 inches frame. What will be remaining is 9 inches, and the base of the bag is 3 inches. Now go ahead and draw a pattern like this. This area is your base. Whatever your base is, that is 3 inches for me. So that's 3 inches. Now the two legs that are there will be your base divided by 2. It will be your base divided by 2. That is how to make this pattern. Now I have 3 inches there. 3 inches divided by 2 will give me 1.5 inch. So I'm going to put 1.5 inch on both legs there. So if you add them together, will definitely give you 3 inches. Now bringing that out, from the top down, it's going to be the height of your bag, the height of your side panel, pardon me. And we know that our height now is 9 inches, and the line down part there will still be 1.5 inches. So altogether I have 10.5 inches. The small part there, for me, sometimes I do 0.5, sometimes I do 0.6, but for this bag I'm doing 0.5 inch. So the total wideness of the side panel there will be 0.5 plus 3 inches base plus 0.5. So I'm doing it again so that you understand. So now if you want to cut out on your chipboard, what you will have is that you first of all measure 0.5, you measure 3 inches, then you measure 0.5. That is how I do mine. I don't know how yours is done. So the total will be 4 inches. And the height of the bag will be 9 inches of the side panel, rather 9 inches plus 1.5. That is the total height you're cutting out is 10.5. So now this is what I'm talking about. From the top there to that first mark is 9 inches. That is the new height of my side panel. Coming down is 1.5 inch. So the middle there is the base of my bag, which is 3 inches. So the total there is 10 inches, 10.5 inches, and yeah, that's 0.5 plus 3 plus 0.5, which will give us 4. So if you want to cut this rectangle out first. You're cutting 4 inches by 10.5. Then you do your markings accordingly. So why we divided the base amongst those two legs is because when you bring them together, they will fit in just like this. So had it been the base of your bag is 4 inches, what you will divide there will be 4 divided by 2, which is 2 inches. So now go ahead and gum your chipboard to your leather and watch me as I add allowances to this downside. And what I want you to do is that the same allowance is what you put all through. For me, I'm going with 1/2 inch. If your hand is, if you're consistent with your cutting, you can just use your free hand and mark all through. But for me, there's a reason I do that. So I'm going with 1/2 inch. Please just mark those areas where I'm marking out and putting the 1/2 inch allowance. So just right there. But for the side, you can just put any allowance you want. Like this side I'm cutting, you can just use your free hand for any allowance you want. But for the down part there, make sure that your allowances are the same. Now this is it. I will go to the machine now and folding it together this way. That's why I said your allowances must be the same. So I'll just go to the machine and stitch that part all the way down, very close, extremely close to the chipboard. After that, you bring them together like this, and then you stop stitch again all the way down. So I've gone ahead to do that. So make sure yours is looking this way. And if you have any question, please drop at the comment section. I'm going to answer your questions. So I'm adding gum here and I'm folding, but if you notice that I'm not folding it all the way to the top of the side panel, this is for to give room for adjustment, because there are times where you make your side panel and at the long run you realize after wrapping it up that your side panel becomes longer and goes higher than where it's supposed to be. So now I'm going to my body panel again and coming down by 3 inches, and you know that the 3 inches is for the length of the frame. So I have my 3 inches mark there. Then I'll get the center of the base. The base is 3 inches, so the middle will be 1.5. So I'm going to fix my side gusset inside and just see if there's any adjustment I need to make before going further. I just hold it down. Then make sure the center of the side gusset is touching the center of the base. And then you fit in the side gusset all the way up to that 3 inches line. So mine is touching it exactly. I have the perfect side gusset there, but remember that we are adding the side gusset with this frame, with that frame that is coming from the top. So put it in mind that if you add it together, there is going to be a little adjustment there, like it's going to add to it. Even if it is like 0.1 inch, is going to add to it because of the joining and the coming together of the two panels, like the side gusset and the frame. So you have to make an adjustment there just to give allowance. So I'm just going to come down on my side gusset by a little. Just, you might use your eyes to just cut it out, or you just go down by 0.1. Either one is okay. So me, I'm just using my discretion to cut it out a little, just to make room for when I'll be joining the two panels together, so that it does not, does not get bulky or increase the height of my panels altogether. I sincerely hope you understand what I just said. So now, after making the adjustment, I can now go ahead and fold everything up. Next thing is to get the zip compartment there. That's zip panels, that exact place that the arrow is pointing to. And like the frame will be added to the side gusset. So just be attentive and you'll get it in no time. Now remember the side that the wideness of the frame is 0.7. 0.7. So I'm going to take 0.7 from both sides of the side gusset. I'm going to mark 0.7. So what will be left in between, I think I have 2.5 here. What is left in between 2.5 will be the wideness of the zip panel now. And then you take your measurement all round for the length of the panel. So I'm going to add extra allowance to it. I'm just going to go by 20. So the length of the panel is 20 inches for me. And here now we have 2.5 inches. So, and at the middle of that panel, of course, we will have our zip going in. That's our zip there. So, and the wideness of my own zip is 0.5. So 2.5, the whole panel minus 0.5 allowance for the zip. What I'll be left with is 2 inches. If it's becoming too complex, please don't bother. You will get it as time goes on. So that's 2.5. We have our zip. Our zip will take 0.5 from the whole thing and will be left by 2 inches. So now I'll divide these 2 inches with the 2 panels coming together to hold the zip. I hope you understand. Yeah, so that is flap 1 and flap 2. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So I'm giving each flap 1 inch and 1 inch with 0.5 for the zip. That's 2.5. So for each one now, I'll be cutting 2 inches length by 1 inch in 2 places. So now I'm gonna add to I don't know, I think fast forward. This is extra fast forward. I'm so sorry, I didn't know. I just don't know what happened. So this is the measurement now. This is 1 inch for flap 1. This is the zip 0.5, and this is flap 2 1 inch. But remember to put, that's for your chipboard though, that's your chipboard. But when you're wrapping with your leather, remember to put half an inch allowance for sewing. So, and this is what we have. So I've joined the frame together with the zip panel starting from the middle. So I notched all at the center first and then I joined together. You can pause and maybe you screenshot so that you know how to go about it. So now can you see our frame and the zip panel fits perfectly to the side gusset. So now I will insert my zip. Then go ahead to join the side gussets on top. So I'll trim off the excesses. You know, when I was cutting the length, I had extra so that it won't be short. So now go ahead, put it on top like this and top stitch. And but remember to top stitch with your lining at the other side and hide all the excesses in between. So I'll go ahead now, top stitch. I'll cut my lining too and top stitch. So cut off any excesses or what, anything that might make your bag very bulky. So now I've gone ahead to join the panel with the side gusset, and I've also done my inside work. So you can do whatever you want. For me, yeah, I have a laptop space. I have space for pen. I have inner zip. I have space for tab right there, and I have some slip-ins just right there. So however you want the inside of your laptop bag to be, you can go ahead and do that on your lining. So this is the gusset and the frame. I'm gonna add to add everything together. I've also put my ring holder, attached it to the side gusset, and this is what it looks like. So if you have any other questions or any more questions, just drop in the comment section. So the final thing now is to attach the whole gusset to the body of the bag. I'm using glue to hold it down so that it doesn't shift while sewing. Just make sure that your glue is, just a little. You don't want it to drench your leather, and if it is too much, it can damage your leather and make a dent on your leather. You don't want anything to ruin your work. You just go ahead. You can use clips if you're not too you don't really want glue on your work. So just go ahead and sew it round. Give enough time for finishing. Cut off every loose thread and just make it nice. And voila, this is the bag. So if you really enjoyed this session, please like, share and subscribe. Tell your friend to tell a friend. So thank you so much. See you in the next session.